What's up, y'all? It's your girl Venus, and you are now listening to the best radio show in the galaxy from Venus with Love. Joining us today, we have a special guest per usual, and I'm going to go ahead and let her introduce herself.
Hi, I'm Jaelin, friends with Venus. Nice to be here.
Thank you so much for coming on. I know this might be a little bit out of your comfort zone, but fuck it. 2024, we doing new things. So before we get started today, just wanted to mention that this show has been sponsored by our good friends at Coastal Vibes, Black-owned wine and soon-to-be champagne brand. So go ahead and get you some Coastal Vibes. I'm going to put their information in the link below. We are sipping on, what are we?
Sauvignon Blanc.
This is Sauvignon Blanc, good white wine. But anyways, how are you? Have you been?
I've been good, just working for the man.
I'm weak.
Trying to pay my bills.
I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do.
Until someone retires me.
I'm weak.
No, but for real. I'm playing, but I'm not playing.
So when are you trying to be retired?
Honestly, I don't have like a time frame when I meet that person that, I click with and they're financially responsible enough to be a provider for a family, then, I'm going to settle down. But until then, I'm outside.
I'm weak. So besides from finances, what other traits did this person have that you are looking for?
So I have like a whole list of values that I remember I did like one of my first therapy sessions. And my top 3 are ambition, honest, and caring. Mm-hmm. So those 3 are like my automatic, like if you have all 3, like that's a good start.
Okay, like your non-negotiables in a sense.
Yeah.
So before we get into today's episode, I like to start out with a little icebreaker. So you know that, was it a Vine or is it like, I don't know, it was like a viral video. You remember that guy? He was like, Jabria, are you smart?
Yeah.
So we are going to play Jaelin, are you smart?
Oh,
and I'm going to just ask some little questions. So what is the capital of Canada?
Canada? Damn. I was like, y'all smart. I know it's not like Toronto.
Okay, you're off to a good start.
I know it's not Quebec.
Okay.
Is it Ottawa?
You're correct.
Yay.
I thought it was Ontario. I don't know how to say it.
Starts with the O.
Yeah, right. So, okay. You're 1 out of 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So, spell onomatopoeia.
Oh my God, I have not thought of that word in forever. Onomatopoeia. Okay, I'm gonna get this wrong. I feel like does it start with the O? Okay. O-N, onomatopoeia, O-N-A-M-O-N-A-P-E-I-A?
So unfortunately, you are incorrect. You got to take a little sip of your drink. So it's onomatopoeia, but people onomatopoeia, but it's onomatopoeia. I don't even know the oranges, so don't even try to ask me. So, which U.S. city is known as the city of brotherly love?
My hometown, Philadelphia.
Oh, you're from Philadelphia?
I was born there.
Damn.
My birthplace. I'll say my birthplace because I don't really. My hometown is like in Georgia.
Okay, so you got 2. I'm gonna sip 2. Okay, so another question: what is the other nickname for Philadelphia? So it's not. It's like there's a city of brotherly love, and what's the other one? Let's see if you know it.
Like I said, it's my birthplace, not my hometown. Wait, okay. City of Brotherly Love, and then
the city of blank. It's 2 words.
Shit, I don't know.
Sisterly affection.
Oh, I've never heard that.
I've never heard it till recently. I didn't think Philly was the city of brotherly love, the way niggas be describing it. I didn't think there was love in general.
Maybe they're just trying to do a play off of like brotherly love, sisterly affection.
Yeah, but I'm like,
stupid.
when I think of Philly, I don't know if I think of like brotherly love, but maybe it's because like all the niggas there are Muslim, so I guess. So, okay. Who is the first African American woman to win an Academy Award for Best Actress?
Damn. I feel like either The first person that comes to mind is Angela Bassett.
The answer is Halle Berry.
Oh.
Right. I forgot what movie it was for.
Catwoman?
No, what movie was it for?
Monster Ball?
Yeah, that one. But in my last question, who sings the song that goes, apple bottom jeans, boots with the fur?
Wait, why did that just leave my head?
This could be a trick question.
Wait, this is crazy. How do I not know this? Oh, is it Lil Jon?
Close, I think. So it's Flo Rida, and of course, like T-Pain sing like the hook.
Okay, yeah, I knew T-Pain was in it, but okay, Flo Rida. Duh.
Okay, so since you got like, you got the last question wrong and this question wrong, so you got to take two more sips.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so now that we got that out the way, we are going to have girls talk. Like, this episode is for the girls, and it's going to be interesting, like, exploring some of these topics as, like, women, because I know, like, you know, from firsthand experience, like, our plights look so much different than, like, you know, our parents, and just, like, growing up, like, you probably thought adulthood was going to be one way, but then you get here, and it's like, not only do I have to deal with, like, the woes of life, you got to deal with your body, you got to deal with your friends, you got to deal with parents, and then other shit that comes up. So, the first topic I wanted to talk about, and I had to refer to my phone because I seen this post on Threads, you know, the Instagram version of Twitter, and I thought it was really interesting because I saw this post, and a girl was like, well, first of all, let me give you the rundown. Are you on Threads? Like, you be on there? Threads is like the classified page. Like, it's always niggas asking for shit. Like, I need this. Or like, who does this? Who does that? So I seen a girl, she quoted, I need a girl bestie that's from Louisiana. Or what's the proper term? You can't tweet on Threads. She threaded. I don't know.
Posted?
Okay, yeah, that's simple. Okay, a girl posted on Threads, I need a girl bestie that's from Louisiana. And you know, Super Scent, the one who made the crayon box palette, she quoted, okay, so first, if we go out to eat, you order an appetizer with the drink, and I order an entree, 2 drinks, and a hookah. How much of the bill do you pay? Your portion or split it down the middle? And exactly, that question itself, first of all, the whole, like, seeking friendship online thing is like, there's nothing wrong with that, but I feel like this is just, you know, where we're at. Like, it's the internet. It's called social media for a reason. But the first thing I thought about it is like friendship pre-screening. Like, why do is that like a thing? So based on that question, what is your answer? There's no right or wrong answer. But how do you feel about the question first? Then what's your answer?
I feel like it depends. Well, how I feel about the question. I feel like it's a valid question and I only say that because different friends treat like the bill differently. Like, I know if I go out with one of my friends, we're just gonna pay separately unless like we got exactly the same thing. Yeah. Or I know with one of my friends, like no matter who got what, like we're just splitting it down the middle. It doesn't matter. So I feel like if you know your friend, you know how you're gonna split the bills. I feel like it's a valid question to ask, so she can be like, okay, what kind of friend are you? So I know. So yeah. And then what was the other question?
She said, are we splitting the bill? Oh, the other question was, wait, I asked, how do you feel about the question? And I'm like, what was your answer? Like, how would you play it?
Oh, yeah, I think I answered both.
Yeah. So, have you ever been out with your friend who has no debit card?
Yeah. Well, not even no debit card, and I think it's smart of her. Like, I think it was last weekend we went out and she only brought cash, but we went to Holiday Bar. And
I'm talking about like no cash, no debit card.
She doesn't have money.
Yeah. No, not she doesn't have money, but can I Apple Pay you? Can I Cash App you? Like, have you ever been out with those friends?
Oh, yeah. Honestly, I don't mind that. Yeah. If you're going to do it on the spot, okay. Yeah. The money's back in my account. Like, I don't care. Yeah. I don't mind.
Okay. So, yeah, basically, I thought about this and I'm like, friendship, do you think friendship needs like a pre-screen process? Because I feel like that's like, it kind of, the question itself reminded me of some like Cheesecake Factory type shit. Like, I'm like, I thought these were only conversations we had with men.
Right, like dating.
Yeah. Yeah. So do you think like there's a pre-screen process that applies to friendship as well, or do you kind of fill it out?
I feel like maybe not the word pre-screen, but like a trial period. Like, okay, if you're starting to be friends with somebody, like, you know, you're not going to like really bring them to your house until like y'all get like, you know, know each other a little bit more. I think friendship is more than like a dating app and like what you do and don't like. I feel like it's when you get to meet somebody and you learn them, and does that click with how you want to live your life, you know?
Do you think financials play a part in that? Like, would you ever ask somebody up front, like, because I feel like that question low-key kind of alluded to like somebody's like financials, even though like it doesn't necessarily have to, but like, you know, like maybe that question was to see like, are you broke? Like, do you want to only pay for your food because you don't got no money for both people's food? Like, I feel like that was like a kind of like financial related question. So like, does finances play a part with friendship for you?
I feel like instead of the word finance, I would say, what, like, do our lifestyles align?
Okay, that's fair.
You know, like, because I like to go out and eat 2 to 3 times out the week, happy hour, whatever. Do you do that, or can you do that? I think that's like a better, not a better question, but just like a
better way to like
to kind
see if you can like, we can be cool, we can mesh. So what are some other determiners like when you're first getting to know somebody that like you use to determine if like we could be cool or not?
Definitely how they treat other people around me. Like, you know, like the saying, like, not even a saying, but people say like, oh, when you go on a date with somebody, you like see how they treat the waiter. That's kind of the same with me. So I think that's important. Also, like, do you have any other friends? Like, because it's a red flag when a girl don't have no other friends. I'm not.
Let's speak on it.
I think, just off the top of my head, those are the first 2 I could think of.
I feel like for me, it's definitely like lifestyles, but not necessarily like, do we have the same job? You know what I'm saying? Is that a factor for you? Like, your friends like have to work in corporate?
No, because I don't want to work in corporate. I just do it because it funds my lifestyle. But I actually would love to be, and this is why I love being friends with you, is I like to be surrounded by like more like creative people, because I feel like I don't get that. So even just us sitting here doing this podcast, like that's like a creative activity that I'm able to participate in, because I have a friend who's not in corporate and you know, doing all that boring shit. So,
you know what I heard that kind of like is still like shocking to me? So I went to DC recently, and me and my man, we were at the pool, and for some reason when we go to the pool, people talk to us, like random women. They're like, what is there to do? What is there to do? So apparently I found out like in DC, they kind of like determine whether they could be friends with you based on how much money you make. And I found this out because the lady was like, you know, she went to a bar, she was trying to get out, and she said, she was talking to a girl at the bar, she said the girl straight up asked her, what's your salary? And I'm like, we teach kids when they're younger, or our parents taught us when we were younger, like, if the neighbors ask, what does mommy do? How much money does mommy make? How did you afford? You know, like, you got to talk to my mom. So it's just like, if we were taught as kids that was inappropriate, what makes you think that's appropriate as an adult?
Yeah. I will say, I think for that to be like part of a vetting process of a friend is kind of crazy. But I think there has been a lot more transparency with like conversation around salary. Like there's that TikTok that they go around and ask like, how much do you make? How long have you been doing it? But in the context of like trying to vet for a friend, I don't think that's cool.
Because I feel like, so say I made like a decent salary to you, like a friendship appropriate salary. What if then the conversation turns into like, oh, what do you do? What if we make the same amount of money, but it's like, oh, I work in nightlife, or I work with my hands. And you're like, oh, I can't be friends with her because like I'm in corporate, you know what I'm saying?
And friendship appropriate salary, it just sounds crazy to say.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I didn't know friendship had a pre-screening process.
Like, what? That's crazy.
So, and that's like something that I've been like, it's been hard to wrap my head around, because she was telling me how like, as someone who's from out of town, moved to DC for work, she feels like people, it's like 2 sets of like groups there who she feels is like really judgy. First one is like, she feels like people don't want to be friends with you unless they know what you do and they feel like it's appropriate to their lives. Because at the end of the day, because I work corporate and make this much money, I think I'm better than you. And then the second group is like the Africans. And we all know how Africans are.
The Africans.
No, let's be honest though, like, a lot of Africans be thinking that they're better than Black people. So when you in an environment that has both parties, just like, damn, like, who am I good enough to be friends with?
Yeah.
So I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, that is
so,
interesting.
On to friendship topics. What would you say are like some do's and don'ts in a friendship? I know you mentioned not having like other friends. What are some other like red flags or like do's or don'ts like for someone who like is your friend?
Yeah, so I'm already friends with. I would say like my number one thing is accountability.
Lack of accountability.
Lack of accountability is definitely like a don't. Like, I was even talking about this to my aunt today. Like, as friends, like, we go through things. Like, you're gonna fuck up, I'm gonna fuck up. But can I curse on this?
Oh yeah.
Okay. But as long as like we're able to come and talk about it, and you can check me and I can check you, that to me is like a sign of a strong friendship, you know?
You know what? Like, when I think of lack of accountability or just accountability in general, accountability and communication go hand in hand. Because it's like, yes, I can own up to it, but do you know why? I don't want to say you had me fucked up, because you don't necessarily always have me fucked up, but do you understand like why I felt this way and where I'm coming from, and can we talk about it? It's like, I feel like it's more than just owning up to your shit. Like, that's just a cop out, but like, let's talk about it so it doesn't happen again, and you don't have to constantly own up to the same mistakes. Because I'm like, if we've talked about this in like in detail, in depth, and I voiced my grievances, why are you still doing these things? So I feel like when it comes to accountability, people don't really consider like the communication aspect as well. And I'm not talking about well, I did this, and we talk about it and you're like, well,
why did you do it though?
You shouldn't have felt that way. Because it's just like, okay, you did this because you saw it from this perspective. Let's come together and make sure it doesn't happen again.
Yeah.
Or if we are put in a similar predicament, what can we do to like move forward?
Yeah. And I also think that having those type of conversations is also having respect for yourself, because I mean, somebody doesn't have to have you fucked up, but you have to set those boundaries in a friendship just like you do in a relationship. Like, hey, if X, Y, and Z happens, like, you can't handle it like this with me. I don't accept that in my type of friendship.
I think people are scared. Like, a lot of people talk about, like, relationships in the sense of, like, romantic, but, like, we don't really talk about, like, our platonic relationships and, like, how those some of those same things or, like, different dynamics go. Because, like, you really have to be on your shit. And like you said, you have to show up for yourself, not just, like, romantically. You have to draw boundaries with friends, too. And then, like, I feel like people are scared to, like, talk to their friends. Because, like, if you have the mentality, like, if I express myself to my friends and they're not my friend, I hate to break it to you, but they probably shouldn't be your friend in the first place. And it's like a hard pill to swallow, but you don't want to be around somebody who, when everything's not peachy, when y'all not lit, when everything's not calm, you feel like you can't still be a friend to this person.
Right.
So what are some other do's or don'ts or like red flags you have in friendships, like character trait wise?
Let's see. Character trait wise, I don't. Back to like going out to eat. Like, I don't like when people are cheap when we're going to eat or we're traveling. Like, don't be cheap when we're supposed to like enjoy ourselves. But
especially if you know the plans ahead of time.
Right.
You know what we came here to do. You know we're trying to go do all the excursions, zip lining, jet ski,
I want appetizers,
on the yacht.
multiple cocktails. Like, come on.
Yeah.
But I that goes back to the whole lifestyle alignment. So, and then also, you know, there's times when like you can't do it, and that's cool. Like, you
be
know,
transparent.
But, yeah, that's definitely one. I think like a green flag though is how you show up for me on my birthday. No, don't do that. Don't do that.
What you gonna do for Big Mama for real?
No, because for me at least, my birthday is the most important holiday. Like, it's my new year. Like, it's a time of reflection and like gratitude. So when I see those people that are like showing up for me on my birthday, it means like the world to me. So that's definitely a green flag.
I remember in one of my episodes where I was like, do men like make a big deal of a birthday dinner and shit? And it was so many niggas attacking me. That shit was so funny.
I remember that.
But it's just like one thing that I gained from like those comments in that conversation, like men's version of showing up for each other is so different than us. I feel like we have so many nuances, and it's not a bad thing, but like sometimes the way like men treat each other, it don't feel like they friends. So,
do you see like when guys like tell their friends happy birthday on Instagram, they don't ever say happy birthday. They'll be like cakes and candles, more life, blessings.
Man.
Can you just say happy birthday?
Like what? So when I was like, what's the male equivalent to not showing up for a birthday, then there was like not hopping on 2K. What else did they say?
But I get that one. Someone just recently explained the 2K thing to me. Like, you have like a certain team that you always win with.
I don't even want to talk about this shit because my man is doing his NAACP.
Yes.
He got his whole league on NAACP. He got bitches texting his phone. Come to the party. What the fuck? Aren't you an athlete? Should you be studying? Like, once you come to the party, like, man, what the fuck? But it's like the problems in male friendships versus us. It seems like priorities with men just revolve around like women and money. Like, bro, we cool. Just don't fuck my bitch. I'm like, so y'all don't have anything that y'all care about?
Right.
Because I feel like when it's time for y'all to like. And then even in my last episode, I asked old dude, I was like, what does venting look like? He's like, I don't. I'm like.
He doesn't vent?
No, he keeps it all in. And I was like, on one end, I get it because I hate to say this, but sometimes when men vent, depending on how they do it, it's like, man, stop bitching. Like, it's like, you know what I'm saying? And then they have this thing where like, you tell your girl, and I hate this so much because I feel like it's a big like, reflection of like the person you're dating. You tell your girl one thing and she uses it against you. Like, that's not cool. But like, I can understand why you feel that way. But like, I don't know, work through it. Because I feel like men, like, they going through a hard time. They don't really talk about it. They just go out and drink.
Yeah.
So.
And that's why I'm a big advocate for therapy for everyone. Even if you're not going through something, therapy can be good for like just getting your thoughts in order, planning like any like goals that you want for your life.
Yeah.
It's literally just an hour that you dedicate to yourself and like work on how you want to improve yourself, you know? So that's my plug.
Any other like friendship red flags or characteristic traits that are like.
I don't want to be, what's that girl's name? Erica something. I'm not trying to be vain, but like, don't come out the house with me looking crazy.
I'm glad that like somebody else said it because like
time and place. Like,
yeah,
if we're going to dinner and like it's like chill, like we're just going to like Chipotle or something, whatever. But if we're like going to a nice restaurant, like just the little things. Just
okay. Well, some of my friendship do's and don'ts / red flags includes being a crash dummy as a woman. What I mean by that is being boy crazy, or you're willing to do anything, and I mean anything for money. That you know that your friend, you know what she is comfortable with, isn't. Or also like when you're willing to do anything for money, you'll put the people you love in like very, very difficult situations, dangerous situations. Along with that goes lack of judgment, because I feel like you'll do the same thing. Like you might be a sweetheart, but it's like there's no type of like you're green to everything. So it's just like, oh, these random men are going to give us a ride. Or it's just like, you went to this place not knowing anybody there. What was going on? I'm like, now I'm here with you because, I'm a good friend. I ain't going to let you go alone. But like, now you got me in this weird place. Or like, you left out crucial details that would have made me be like, I don't think we should do this tonight. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Being a crash dummy as a woman, no moral compass. You don't have no type of like side. You can't stand on anything. Like that bothers me because if I'm in a predicament, you're low-key like nowhere to be found. Purposely making me look bad in front of company.
Oh yeah, that's
getting cute. Like the niggas come around and they're like, oh, ha, look at your stain on your shoe. Like, okay.
Right. You didn't get your hair done?
Girl,
your lashes are like coming off.
Yo, sewing kind of old. Being a thief. Being a thief. That should go without saying.
I was about to say, I thought that was just
but yeah. It's one thing to ask, and I'm like, I'm gonna give it to you, don't worry. But if you're like really big on, I'm gonna pay you back, like, I want my money back.
I don't ever ask for my money back. Like, if you aren't gonna pay me back, I'm just not gonna give it to you next time.
But if you tell me and you make a big stink about paying me back, give me my money.
Yeah, because now you're making me remember that you owe me money. Right. I don't even want to think about it.
Right. So, what is, speaking of like getting cute and like people making you look bad in front of company, what is one way a woman, like someone you thought was a friend or like a peer acquaintance, what is one way somebody has told you that they didn't like you without directly saying they didn't like you?
Okay. The first thing that comes to mind, so me and my friend were at this party a couple months ago, and I don't know, I was like, I had a couple drinks, so I was like friendly and like just talking to everyone. So there's this one girl, and I was like, oh my God, you're so pretty, da 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 da. You know, we were talking, and I asked her sign. She said Aquarius, and I was like, oh, I love Aquariuses. And she was like, yeah, you know, whatever. And then I didn't really talk to her the rest of the night, but then I asked her, I was like, oh, are you coming with us to this club after? And she was like, no, you flirt too much for me. I was like, flirt with who? And she pointed to like this guy. I was like, oh, I don't even know, like not at all. I have a man. At the time I had somebody I was talking to. And I was like, oh, is that your man? She was like, yeah, that's my man. Come to find out it wasn't her man, but clearly she didn't like me because, you know, whatever. But that's the first thing that comes to mind. It was so funny.
You know what I just thought about that? Like, people who, like, along with being boy crazy, like, the whole, like, male center. You know, like, there's a word for that now. What do they call it? It's called, like, male identified. I'm like, that don't sound what it...
Wait, male identified?
It's basically... Another thing that I kind of have, like, a qualm with in 2024, there's a word for fucking everything now.
Everything? Can I just be?
Because I'm just like, damn, what is male-centered? Now look it up. Oh, you mean dick for brains? Like, boy crazy? I'm like, why is it called male identified? Because that sounds like something completely different.
So, like, that girl would be a male identified woman.
Basically.
Okay, because like, she puts, like, the male in front of, like, her identity and everything.
Like, she based her whole identity around men.
Okay, yeah.
But I'm like, that don't... When you say male identify, like with no context, that doesn't sound like what it means.
Right, at all. It sounds like, never mind.
Yeah, it sounds like, yeah. So, okay. When I thought of this question, I immediately thought of like two situations, and they were all from like when I was younger. Mm-hmm. So, one way somebody told me that they didn't like me without exactly telling me, like when I was like in elementary school, right? Mm-hmm. I was in this little basketball after school program, right? And we played this game. I guess it's called chicken. I don't know. Like you stand in like a centralized area in the basketball court, and like you dribbling the ball with whatever hand you dribble with, and then the other hand you like, you know, knocking the ball out of people's hands. So I guess it's called chicken. I don't know. Mm-hmm. But like we would practice that after school, and then like at the last day of the program, our parents would come and watch us see what we learned. So it was like a big contest. The day before we were supposed to do that, right? Because in practice, I was winning. It was nothing. I'm just like, I'm the winner. I'm the last one with the ball in my hand. So the day before, like all our parents come and see us, this girl walks up to me. Mind you, I'm probably like 6 or 7 or something like that. And she's the same age. She walks up to me and she was like, you better not win tomorrow. Da-da-da-da-da. You always doing things to make yourself seem better than you are. You telling people your name means X, Y, Z. Like, you know, you're a kid. You just got a random fun fact. So I'm just telling people like, yeah, my name means this because, you know, half Nigerian. So she brought that up. I'm like, damn, you've been feeling like this for a while. But she's like, you're always doing things to make yourself seem better. You telling people your name means this because you think it's cuter. And I'm just like, oh, okay. I looked at her like, okay. You best believe I won that competition. And then another time when I was in middle school, I used to do just little bullshit spelling bees in school, and I would always win them. And another girl, she was like, don't win that spelling bee. Like, you gotta like, she tried to make it seem like she was joking, but she's like, you can't win. Like, you know, you always winning. Like, you don't gotta do that. Like, let somebody else like have their time to shine. Mind you, we're children. And of course I won the spelling bee. Why would I like dumb myself down? You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't one of those things that took a lot of effort. Like, okay, I will admit, at first, I like purposely, in both situations, I purposely tried to struggle. But I'm like, man, this shit too easy. Like, I'm just gonna win. Like, I'm not even trying. So I'm not even applying myself. And these girls are like, we don't want to see you win or whatever. So I say all that to say, like, one way somebody told me they didn't like me without like saying is like trying to dim my light.
Sounds like a hater.
Literally, like, bitches been hating, man. I don't know.
Hating.
I don't know, man. Just from the jump. But I always think it's interesting because like as grown-ups, we don't be like, I don't like you. Like, but there are so many signs. Like people say when your friend posts like a bad picture of you, or like she's the only good looking one in the picture, or like she lets you come out the house crazy, or like she lets you like look crazy. Like she knows that nigga got a man, but you go up to talk, like, you know what I'm saying? Like not really give you the drop in certain situations. And I also feel like that part too is like important in friendships too, because if there's something that I need to know, don't let me go out looking crazy.
Right. Let me know all the information.
So, speaking of friendships, do you talk to your friends about like, oh, like you might not go in detail, but do you let them know like, hey, I'm dating this guy, or hey, I'm talking to this guy. I think this guy is attractive. I might want to, pursue him. Mm-hmm. Not literally pursue, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, have you ever asked your friends like, oh, like, what do you think about him?
If they know him better than I do.
Okay.
But if it's like a mutual, we don't know that person, I don't really care what your opinion is.
Yeah.
But if you know him more than me, then yeah, I'm gonna see what's the tea.
Right. Do you think it's important that friends share like, what's going on in their lives to you?
That's an interesting question.
Like, are you really my friend if I don't know what's going on with you?
And that's interesting because remember the friend I told you that, we're not really speaking right now? Mm-hmm. She's more of like a private person. Like she has like two pictures on her Instagram. Like she doesn't tell anybody anything. Like I wouldn't even know that she went out the country last month if I didn't have her location. But I think it's important for me at least, for me to feel like I'm close to you as a friend. I think it's important to know like what's going on. Like me and one of my good friends, like we literally will be on the phone every day. Sometimes we don't even talk, but it's like we know everything that's going on with each other. So
I feel like that's a part of friendship, like camaraderie. You know what I'm saying? Like, and like I need to know what's going on, so like I don't offend you, or I don't like I just respect what you have going on. So I just know. So if your friend asks you like, oh, what do you think about this guy I'm talking to, or like I'm trying to talk to on some like look shit? Mm-hmm. Are you saying he's ugly or no?
Based on his looks alone?
Or are you gonna let her know like, oh, he's cute? Like,
I feel like looks are so subjective. I feel like when I was younger, I'd be like, girl, he's not cute. But like, I think now, and I've learned to stop dating my type because my type will be like, a fine, whatever, 6, whatever, but horrible for me. So because of that, I don't even take looks like that serious to the point where I'm be like, girl, he's not cute. So if he's cute to you, then that's great because I don't want him.
But what if she straight up asks you, okay, so I had a situation where somebody asked me, like, oh, what do you think of him? I'm like, oh, like, I don't really know him to like, tell you what I think of him, but tell me about him. Then I can kind of give you my opinion. But then she was like, oh no, like, do you think he's cute? And I'm like,
well, why does she care if you think he's cute?
I feel like that question is low-key a setup because if I say, damn, like, I'm not going to be like, damn, your nigga fine. Or if I be like, oh yeah, he cute. You might be like,
gotta keep my eye on her.
Literally. But like, if your nigga really ugly and I tell you he ugly, you gonna think I'm a hater.
But I feel like you could like soften the blow, like he's not my type, which is what I say when a nigga's ugly because it's not my place to tell you if your man is ugly or not.
He has nice glasses,
nice skin complexion.
I feel like, but like, I also think if you're attracted to somebody, why would you need to ask somebody else?
Exactly.
Like, that's so strange to me.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what I think.
Yeah.
Like, when it comes to attracted, because if I were to, I would never, but if I were to ask somebody like, oh, is this person attractive? I'm like, damn, like, am I even doubting myself? Like,
right. It sounds like you're doubting yourself. You know if you think he's fine and you're the only one who should think he's fine.
Exactly.
So
that shit
just sounds easier that way too, because everybody thinks your man is fine and look out.
Literally. So, do you think as adults it's harder to make friends or are we projecting? Because I feel like in some situations, we are projecting.
I will say that it is harder to make friends as an adult just because we're not in those like college and now you have like a club or a sports team. So like
we're literally
you have to be
across from each other
in the
all
dorm.
The time.
Yeah. So it's like you have to be more intentional about going out and making connections. So like joining like a sports team or whatever after work or taking class, you have to be more intentional about it. So I think it is harder just because it's not as easy as back when we were in school, you know?
And then you have shit like...
But what do you mean by projecting?
So I feel like sometimes we overthink things a lot. Like, say you see a girl and like, looks can be deceiving, but like from the outside looking in, like, y'all go to similar events. Y'all see her at some. I'm not talking about the club. I'm not talking about the club. But like you see her at similar events, maybe like restaurants or stuff like that. Y'all like present yourselves in similar ways. Like, so I feel like sometimes people could overthink it and be like, she might not like, I don't know, she might not be a cool person. Or, man, she might not want to talk to me. It's like, it's going to be hard to approach her. Like, I don't want her to think I'm weird. Or it might be on some like, you know, she might be a cool person. I see her all the time. We make small talk. But when it comes to like taking that friendship to the next level, like, you know, hanging out, like talking a little bit more, like, I don't want to come off as pressed or, you know, my last friendship didn't end well. So I think I'm going to be good off people. But I feel like shit like that, like sometimes we do be projecting a little bit because like we're creating this narrative for a person like we don't even know. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or it's like, oh, she looked too bougie. Like she looked mean. I look mean a lot. I'm just brown and I have tattoos. Like I'm gonna be really honest. And I think it's so like strange a little bit.
It's because we're Black women.
It's because
if a white woman was sitting with the same facial expression, they wouldn't say that she looked.
But I also feel like because we're like, you know, a darker shade of brown too. And then I seen something on TikTok where it was just like, oh, I hate the whole soft life shit. But this girl's like, when I'm trying to live in my soft life era, but I have tattoos. And I looked in the comments and it's like, people equate tattoos with like, you're hard, you don't need nobody. Like, and I'm like, damn, like I thought I just wanted a little body decoration. But I feel like, I don't know. I feel like I thought about it. I'm like, ooh, that does make sense a little bit.
Yeah.
Like all my life, I was like, I thought you were mean. I thought I'm literally the nicest person. Like,
and then it's like, the way people think that about you, you're saying like sometimes we think that about other people. Yeah, that's so real. Because I have like, you know, there actually a lot of my closest friends today, like before they got to know me, they thought I was such a bitch. Like, they're like, you just were always sitting there with like a mean look on your face. I'm like,
this is just how I look.
Honestly, like I'm not worried about y'all. But,
or like you'll see a girl, or maybe you follow her on Instagram, and y'all obviously have the same things in common, but let another girl tell you, oh, she's such a bitch. She's so rude. Because maybe they had a bad experience with her. Maybe they want to be friends with her, but they never got close. Or maybe they caught her at a bad moment. Or because like, and this is so like the loyalty thing. You might see a girl, you might be cool with the girl. You've like never met her before. You don't know anything about her for real. But then it turns out one of your friends had a bad experience with them. Like I used to be friends with her, and now it's like, if you get friends with her, this is
that's hard.
You're crazy. Like, and I'm like, bro, I never knew this person. Like, you know what I'm saying? It'd be different if you introduced me to her and then like me and her didn't fall out, but I seen y'all fall out. But even with that, it's just like, what did y'all fall out over?
I feel like that is a big factor. Like, if it was something serious, then I'm just...
What's serious?
Well, I think, not even if it was serious, but something that speaks to that new friend's character.
Yeah.
Then it's like, okay, I don't even want anything to do with you. But if it was something like a miscommunication, like, I think the way I would move about it is, like, I will obviously, like, be open and honest with my friend. Like, just so you know, like, I just met so-and-so and getting to know her. How do you feel about that? And... I mean, I don't feel like no one's going to tell me who to be friends with and who not to be friends with, but I just need to hear your side and how you feel about it, you know?
Right. But, yeah, and I also be thinking, like, if I don't know you personally, but I know you might be cool, but it's like a known thing that you're, like, known for being in the same situations with different people, that also is like, I can't
That's
move
a red
forward.
flag, yeah.
But it's just like, if you're known for fucking people's niggas, like, you are known for, like, not caring about people's relationships.
Yeah.
Number one, me being seen with you could be a detriment because bitches don't care. Like, it could be the right day, wrong person, you know, and I'm with you. So I'm like, fuck, I gotta jump in. I gotta watch.
That goes for messy girls with crazy exes. I don't want to be caught in the crossfire, literally. Because your ex-man is trying to kill you.
Yeah, like that's I just real don't want
that
too.
drama.
That's real too.
Yeah,
like serial man stealers. Like nah,
too much drama that follows them.
So, do you have different levels in friendships, and is it possible to like get demoted in friendships?
Honestly, yeah. Like I said, I'm going through something right now, and I feel like I didn't ever think that. Like before, it was just, you're my friend or you're not my friend. But I think with this particular person, we've known each other for a long time and I truly love her. So even though we're not like speaking right now, she's still my friend in my head. She probably like, fuck that bitch to me. I don't know. But
literally, that'd be the crazy part too. Like you can't control what people think.
Exactly. So before that, I would say like, no, you can't get demoted. You're my friend or you're not my friend. But I think with this situation, just the way that it's being handled, it's kind of like, okay, well, now I don't feel comfortable being as vulnerable with you as I was before. So to me, that's like a demotion. You know, like I'm not going to open up to you and tell you all these things about my life like I used to.
So do you think like there's so many times you could get demoted until like you're not my friend anymore? Or is it just like a sudden, it's done, we're not cool?
Yeah, I feel like it's definitely, if something happens more than once, yeah, you're going to keep getting demoted to where you're just like an acquaintance, a mutual follower.
So what, I'm fucking weak. So when you're not friends with somebody, or like when you're trying to end a friendship, do you like communicate that with them or you ghost them?
You know what's crazy is like a couple of years ago, I had a really close friend that I didn't ghost her, but I just told her like, this friendship isn't really serving me right now.
But you let her know, you communicate.
I called her and I let her know, but I didn't. Well, actually, I texted her. Let me not even big up myself like that. I texted her, and I still regret the way I handled it, but I was going through like a transition in my life, so I was trying to figure out like just all this stuff was like very new to me. I was moving back here from DC and like starting like being single after like 5 years, so it was just like a lot I was going through, and like the friendship at the time, it just wasn't serving me, and I let her know that, but I didn't really give her like the reasons why. And at the time, my reasoning was because like I don't have to explain myself to anybody, but I think looking back on that, I could have like respected the friendship that we did have before a lot more by like letting her know this is why I don't want to be friends anymore. And to this day, I still regret that, but it's like I can't even like apologize because like, bitch, you were fucked up for that. Like, just take that L and don't ever speak to her again.
So as an adult, what does friendship look like to you?
Just being there for the other person, like regardless of what it is, not judging. Like that's another one. It could be a red flag if you do judge, and it could be a green flag if you don't judge. Because a really good friend to me is someone I could tell like all the fucked up shit that I did, and yeah, you could tell me how I was wrong, and then we just gonna talk about it, laugh about it. Like I think that is a really good friend, someone I could talk to. Also someone that doesn't always have to go out, like we just chill and like both be on our phones and not even talking, you know? So.
Yeah, that's important, like that nonverbal communication shit.
Yeah.
Cause I feel like, I don't know, like when it comes to like different levels in friendships, like I guess you have your like outside friends, but I don't know, like I feel like my problem is like I want all my friends to be one thing. But I kind of have to have that separation. Like I have my people I see outside, and we do outside shit with. I'm not telling you my business.
Yeah.
You know, we're not doing like intimate activities. Then I have my friends that like, you know, I chill with. I stay inside. Then I have like, you know, I tell them I'm vulnerable with them. Then I have my friends who are like a good mix of both. So I don't know. I know you're not supposed to put all your eggs in one basket, but it's just so convenient in that nature. How do you feel about friend groups? Because I feel like a lot of people want friend groups for like the aesthetic reasons, and they want bitches to be like, we're cute on Instagram together. We fuck the same type of niggas.
I don't know. I've been in like different friend groups, but like always very small, like 3 or 4 people. And then since moving back a couple years ago, I've like found myself in this new friend group, and I love all of them. It's like 8 or 9 of us.
Oh,
yeah, but it's like I don't talk to every single one of them every day. It's probably like 2 that I talk to mostly, but like we all can like get together and hang out. I don't think it's like any aesthetic, like we don't ever really take pictures or anything, but we just have a good time.
So you're not the type of person to be like, I can't be friends with you because you look a certain way?
No.
That's good.
I don't think so.
That's good.
Yeah. I think you have to come out the house looking not crazy, but the way you were born is the way you were born.
Yeah.
You know? But I think, you asked me if I liked friend groups. I think that they can kind of be a little, the only way they can be toxic is like when there's some drama going on.
The separate group chat.
And then, oh yes, the separate group chat will always get you fucked up. And people are like playing telephone, and that's the only thing that I don't like. But other than that, it's cool so far from my experience.
So we talked about friendships, what that looks like, getting demoted. And now a part of our adult life that like I'm still trying to navigate, like what self-care looks like. Because when we were younger, self-care was like, ooh, wash your face, do this, da-da-da-da-da. Put some cucumbers on your eyes. What does self-care look like for you?
Just having a day where my phone is on Do Not Disturb and I don't talk to anybody. That's a version of self-care. therapy every other week is self-care. Going on my walks after work. Cooking for myself. Washing my hair. Like, just taking, like, just...
Actual care.
Yeah, like, actual care. Like, sometimes I'll be like, damn, I don't want to wash my hair. But it's like, you're, like, literally taking care of yourself. Like, this is how you... Just like your mom used to wash you when you were a child. Now you got to do it for yourself, you know? I
feel like setting boundaries is like an important part of self-care that we often don't realize, because we will burn ourselves out trying to like show up for everybody but ourselves, including like, I don't know, our parents. Like, like, is a break from your parents self-care? Like,
yeah, no, I think boundaries with parents is like so difficult. It's a tricky thing because, like, you don't want to disrespect them, but at the same time, you're trying to respect yourself and respect your boundaries. Like, I don't want to hear about that. Don't tell me this. Don't do that. And then it's like, who are you to tell me? You know what I mean?
Speaking of self-care, did you ever, like, you remember Proactive?
Yes. Did I ever get Proactive? I think I did.
Girl, that shit was a scam.
I definitely did. It did nothing for me.
Let's talk about how Proactive is a scam, because it's like, it was one of those products where they like, you had to keep using it, and the minute you take a break from it to like, because you have to order it from the TV. Yeah.
Yes,
you break out. And it's like, you couldn't find it in the store. So I'm like, damn, what I'm going to do to my,
is it still
to
in
my
the
second
stores?
order? I don't know. I hope it's not. Proactive. Y'all should be ashamed, because that shit was so bad.
I think it broke me out, actually.
Proactive made my shit worse than it was before I used it. Yeah. So I'm just like, why was this a thing? Why was this being advertised?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, question. Speaking about parents and boundaries, did you ever have a diary when you were younger?
Yeah,
or like a journal? I feel like diaries were low-key a setup. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, for them to just read all our shit? Yeah, I'm pretty sure my mom read my diary.
Bro, I remember I knew my mom read my shit when she said something to me verbatim. I was like, oh, bitch.
But I think that's great. I think that's great that we were that young writing out our feelings, because I was journaling back then.
That shit made me have trust issues. I'm not gonna lie.
Really? Oh, because you read it?
Yes. Or I was always in fear of like, where do I put my diary today?
Right. Gotta hide it somewhere she won't find it. Yeah.
Why are you hiding your diary?
I remember like they used to sell like those
the fucking password journals.
Had a fucking padlock on it.
Bro, I remember
that's crazy.
Like, I seen somebody say like they used to write the little, you know, the little Wattpad story. They used to write fucking Wattpad stories in their diary.
I used to love Wattpad. Oh my god.
I couldn't get into Wattpad. It was too freaky. So freaky.
That's why I got into it. My favorite was, I was a Chris Brown fan back then.
Oh my god.
I know. So like, I think it was like...
Those stories was crazy.
They were crazy, but they were good. I used to be up like late at night just on my phone, just like... No, it wasn't even Wattpad. I used to read them off of Tumblr.
Tumblr was disgusting.
Ooh, and
Tumblr was a dirty place.
I remember when the girl posted her last chapter and she never posted again. Bro, I was so sick. To this day, I've gone to her page and like she never posted.
I'm fucking weak. Be honest. Did you ever post any Wattpad stories?
No. I wasn't a writer like that.
Oh.
If I was, I probably would have, but I didn't really write like that for real.
All right. So, we are rounding up our interview.
No, this was so fun.
We're going to come back. We're going to talk about some new shit.
Okay.
But before we leave, is there anything that you have to get off your chest?
Oh, yes, I've been waiting for this moment. Men, you don't have to offer. Let's start there. I don't know. I feel like I've just been seeing this a lot on social media, and I can definitely relate to this concern for my fellow women. I hate when guys will say they're going to do something and then don't do it. Off bat, I hate that. But then to offer something I didn't ask for and then not do it is crazy. It's just a PSA. Like, you don't have to. I promise you don't. I could probably do it on my own. They could probably do it on their own. You don't have to. That's my PSA. Okay, I got off my chest. It's been in my head.
Well, that's it, guys. Thank you for being on my episode. Thank you guys for watching this episode. If you're on YouTube, check out the SoundCloud link. I'm going to link it below. After this DJ mix from yours truly, follow the SoundCloud. It's the same as the YouTube account. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. That's a wrap. Bye.
Bye.